The Broken Compass, Which Voice Leads? This is a story about a man who enters the fourth level of a hidden object adventure game and discovers a compass with two needles pointing in opposite directions. As he searches for the right path, he begins to see that guidance depends less on where he goes and more on which voice he chooses to follow. Jonah opened his laptop and clicked the treasure chest icon. Hidden in plain sight. The game loaded. Level 4, The Broken Compass. He clicked enter. A colorful mountain crossroads appeared on the screen. 5 trails led away from a wooden signpost. One climbed towards snowy peaks. One disappeared into a dark forest. One crossed a swinging bridge. One curved beside a bright river. The last seemed to lead nowhere at all. At the center sat an old brass compass. Its glass was cracked. Jonah clicked it. The compass enlarged. Instead of one needle, it had 2. The red needle was labeled fear. The gold needle was labeled peace. Jonah laughed. That explains the problem. A message appeared. Find the safe path. Finally, a normal puzzle. His object list appeared. Rope lantern map, walking stick, way forward. Jonah found the rope hanging from a tree. Click. The lantern was beneath a bench. Click. The walking stick leaned against the signpost. Click. Then he opened the map. Every trail on it had warnings. Cliffs, wolves, deep water, getting lost, unknown. Wonderful. Jonah clicked the compass. The red fear needle spun wildly. Forest, bridge, mountain, river. Back to the forest. A message flashed. Check everything before you move. Jonah began searching. He inspected the bridge ropes. He counted clouds above the mountain. He checked the forest for glowing eyes. He examined the river current. He clicked every rock, tree, sign, shadow, and footprint. The more he searched, the more dangers appeared. A storm cloud formed, a warning bell rang, a new sign popped up. Are you sure? Jonah frowned. I was until you asked. He clicked hint. The screen replied, which needle are you following? Jonah looked at the compass. The fear needle was still spinning. The peace needle had not moved. It pointed toward the quiet trail that seemed to lead nowhere. Nope, Jonah said. That path doesn't even make sense. The game chimed. Fear demands certainty before the first step. Jonah sat back. He knew that voice. What if this goes wrong? What if I choose badly? What if I regret it? What if there's a better option? What if I'm missing something? He had called it careful planning. Sometimes it was. But sometimes it was fear wearing reading glasses. Jonah looked again at the gold needle. It still pointed toward the plain trail. He clicked it. A message appeared. Peace does not always explain the whole journey. The trail brightened just enough to reveal one stepping stone. Jonah clicked it. A second stone appeared. Click, then another. There's no map? The game answered, next step available. Jonah smiled. You're kidding. He followed one stone at a time. Soon the trail curved behind a hill. A deep ravine appeared. Jonah stopped. The fear needle immediately began spinning again. Turn back, find another route. You should have planned better. But the peace needle pointed toward the ravine. Jonah stared. There is literally no bridge. He waited. Nothing happened. Then he noticed the rope he had collected earlier. He clicked it. A small ferry platform rose from behind the rocks. Oh! He attached the rope. The platform carried him across. The game chimed. What you need may appear when it is needed. Jonah became quiet. He remembered how often he wanted guidance to arrive as a complete itinerary. Every turn explained. Every risk removed. Every outcome guaranteed. Maybe that was not guidance. Maybe that was control. The last item remained, way forward. Jonah searched the screen. No arrow, no sign, no glowing doorway. Then the compass appeared again. The 2 needles waited. He clicked fear. 20 possible routes exploded across the screen. Pros, cons, warnings, backup plans, emergency exits. The screen became almost unreadable. Jonah laughed. Okay. He clicked reset. Everything disappeared. He chose peace. One small golden arrow appeared beneath his feet. Click. Ding. Way forward found. The landscape brightened. The cracked compass repaired itself, but the 2 needles remained. A final message appeared. Both voices may speak. Only one must lead. Jonah looked at the words for a long moment. He placed one hand on the laptop. Fear can come along, he said, but it doesn't get the compass. A doorway appeared beyond the trail. Next adventure, the mirror room. Jonah smiled and clicked continue. May we sing, rest, and dance our way home together.